Grown man business, priceless experiences, Napa Valley wine tasting, spoiling my women friends, sitting at the table with millionaires. The narrative is tax loops, accounts offshore squares. It's not allowed.
Welcome back to the #1 home for personal development. The place where if you have an abstract mind, you are welcome. The place where you have out-the-box philosophy, you are welcome. Welcome back to Coin Gang Ministries. I'm your man, Ken Billions. As always, if you can see me, press 1. And if you can hear me, press 2. We follow a strict philosophy over here of top shelf or nothing. So if everything is good on your end, go ahead and press that 1 and press that 2. What's going on? Happy hump day. Do y'all still do that for Wednesdays? Happy hump day. 1 second. What's good? How are y'all doing out there, man? I got a great bill for y'all. If this is your first time here, welcome. It's great to see you. If you are returning, you already know what it is. Welcome back to the fam. We got a great conversation today. As always, if you have children, keep your babies close. Make sure you get that aux cord. Make sure you know what your seeds is listening to. Get that aux cord. Pay close attention to your babies. If you have someone in your life that's loving on you, please be patient with them, because this love thing is complicated. It is not easy. If you're on Facebook, make sure you get that fan supporter badge. That little heart thing is blue. If you like the content and you enjoy what you're listening to, go ahead and get that supporter badge and be a monthly supporter. If you're on YouTube, Super Chat is your friend. And as always, the Cash App is your friend. How are y'all doing tonight? Let's see who we got in the building. Zach, I appreciate the support, man. You've been rocking for a minute. How are you? My guy, Richard Spence, man. Beloved, how are you? Someone said there's an echo. Is there an echo on your guys' end too? What's good? Everything straight? Miss Denise, how are you, beloved? How are you? Martin, what's up, family? Peace to you. Peace. How are you? I got a great conversation today. Who else we got out here? Let me see. We have Shalonda. How are you, Miss Shalonda? What's up with you? What's good with y'all? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. My book of the day today is called Strategy. This is my book of the day. This is a history of strategic moves in warfare, going back thousands of years. Very, very, very thick book. It is a history of strategy. This is very important because strategy is what humans use against other humans to get their way, to get resources, right? To get women, to get land, to get access. Strategy is what humans use. Shout out to you for coming through the door with it in the first 5 minutes. I appreciate you. What's your name? Damn, I am terrible at names. As much as I read, I cannot pronounce people's names. So, Yaritza, shout out to you. Do you know all the game I give, I still got to tell people, hey, man, put it on the wood, because they'll come and suck up this shit for free if they could. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Coming through the door with it. Now, I'm really about to rock. When you come through the door with it in the first 5 minutes, it changes my whole swag. Like, oof, the spirit just come through. Shout out to you. So I definitely recommend this book, right? So to learn the history of strategy, this is dealings, not feelings right here. Especially as we move forward, and if we have issues with supply chains and we have oil issues and resource issues, it's going to take strategy for you to have the one up on other human beings. And the thing about strategy is non-contact. Strategy is mental, right? So I definitely recommend this book. The author is Lawrence Friedman. Strategy, the history of strategic moves that humans have done on each other to get the advantage. All right? Check this out. It's a thick boy. Today we are talking about the science of the runaway slave. We're going to talk about stat kingpins. Stat kingpins. You know, the dudes that have a lot of stats and data. I call them stat kingpins, right? But they only have stats when it comes to women. 1 in 4 black women will get married. 80% of women file for divorces. Those are useless stats. I'm going to show you some stats that actually matter, that pertain to the individual. Why do I care if 1 in 4 black women get married? It has nothing to do with me. 80% of women file for divorce. That is a useless stat. I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you some stats that matter, that hit you right in the chest. So when the people come to me and they stat me to death, I call them stat kingpins. You are kingpins of the stats and the data and all that. And we're going to talk about the first matrix. You should have already smashed that like button. We should already be affecting the algorithm. It's free to press the like button. It's interesting. Ooh, I am concerned about BM feeling the need to correct so-called modern women. There has been increased violence against women minding their own business. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because the conversation today is men should focus on personal development instead of women. Men should focus on personal development instead of women. You know the topic. You hear what we're discussing. The science of the runaway slave. Stat kingpins. When a person comes at you with stats and all this, you call them stat kingpins. And after they're done their stats, you ask them, tell me a stat about yourself. And we're going to talk about the first matrix. This is an important topic today, right? Shout out to one of the best moderators in the world. All things Netta Jean. I appreciate you, beloved. I appreciate you holding down the chat for your boy over there on YouTube. Salute to you, family. You need good people in your life so you can focus on the work. We use the term modern men or modern women a lot, right? So I'm going to use the term modern men. Modern men are on drugs. A new type of drug, though. Modern men are on a drug that is more stronger than coke. It's more stronger than crack. It's more stronger than alcohol. It's more stronger than LSD. The new drug that modern men are on didn't exist in ancient times. It's a different kind of drug. See, this drug is not illegal. You can consume this drug every single day, all day long. Now, it doesn't make you lose weight like crack and coke, ecstasy. No, it doesn't do none of that. It just does other things. It affects you in other ways. This drug is a little different than alcohol. It's a little different than heroin and pills. It's different, right? The drug that modern men are using is content. And the drug is called women's empowerment. The need to try to check women. The need to try to correct women. This is what all the podcasts are about, right? Oh, she's for the streets. Body count. Telling women what they need to do to get married. This is a dangerous, 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 dangerous drug. Because when I'm driving around in cities, I see men that's homeless. And when you go into prisons, it's men there. And all the bottom shelf areas in life consist of men. Men with a sign asking for change, right? Life is very, very, very difficult for men. But modern men are not focused on that difficulty. Modern men are talking about what they perceive as women empowerment. Modern men are getting high off this drug. Modern men are going viral because of this drug. This drug is dangerous because it's not illegal. Talking about how women look, talking about baby mamas. This is a dangerous drug because the world will always save women and children. Have you ever seen men on this drug? Anybody out there? Have you ever seen any men using this content? Because you have a group of guys from around the country that have never met each other, right? And when they come together, they are checking the women and telling them what they should do. They're even telling the women what men they should pick. Little boys are watching. Little boys are watching modern men use these drugs. Modern men even talk about modern women. Men born in 1990 with women born in 1990 are calling those women modern. He has a phone in her hand. She has a phone in her hand. He has a laptop. She has a laptop. She took out a student loan. He took out a student loan. She's secular in religion. He's secular in religion. He experienced the quarantine. She experienced the quarantine. What about this woman is modern and the man is not modern? You learn to talk like this when you use the content drugs. So when a guy walks outside and he's talking to a woman, he runs her through the content filter. Everything she says, he runs her through this filter of content. I remember waking up in a homeless shelter. I was young. And I remember hearing the stories of the men in the homeless shelter. They were forgotten about. No one came to see these men. No one came to talk about these men. No one cared about these men. It was maybe 20, 21. And I seen what it looks like when a man is forgotten about. You know what those men needed? Other men. They needed words of inspiration from their brothers. You know what little boys need right now? Words of inspiration from other men. Probably a lot of them were abused, sir. That's why we need other men. When I was a little boy, I needed men. Little boys now need men. Right? Right? Little boys now need men. Little boys then need men. But the men now are on drugs. This drug right now that men are using is more devastating than crack. It's more devastating than heroin. And the dealers of the drugs will never go to jail. That's the ill thing. Because the drug that the men are using is content. Content drugs. Talking points. And when you try to take the content talking points and plug them into the real world, they don't work. When you try to take the content that you are getting high off of and use it in real time, it dissolves. One in 4 black women will never get married. 80% of women file for divorce. Excuse me, sir, I need help with some money. Yeah, but 1 in 4 black women will never get married. Yeah, but I got a business and I need some startup capital. Let's talk about these women. But, hey, what? Man, I need some help from the bros or I'm going to go sell dope. Nah, let's talk about hair. Let's talk about weave and makeup. But wait a minute, I thought this was a group for guys. Concerning guys. Me and my friends didn't have no daddy, so we're coming to you older guys to have a real conversation. Why are you talking to those women about marriage? And the younger guys end up using the dope too. And they get infected by the content drug. But no personal development is going on. The individual is not transformed. The individual regresses. Because none of the men have no words for these little boys. None of the men have no words for broken males. Do you know why? Because to talk to a broken male, men gotta love men. The dealers of the drug is this new character called a high value man. And one of the drugs that the high value man deals is a real interesting drug because it tells women that they should settle for average men, right? But the high value man won't elevate average men. Because how can you tell people to settle for average and there's an economic gap in the country? Why would you tell anybody to settle for average if historically those people claim to be descendants of a slave? You could not travel back in time and tell those people to be average. So how is the modern person telling people to settle for an average living? If you fall where you fall, that's fine. But you should always strive for greatness. But the new dope dealer, the high value men, peep the game here. The game of the high value man is to throw the average man a bone. And the way that you throw the average man a bone is get on these bitches' heads. So then the average man focuses on the women instead of putting their attention on the men with the resources. Because the people that have what you need are the men. Let me simplify it for you. The best way to keep these men on the bottom off my ass is to throw them a bone. Yeah, let's talk about these women. Throw them a bone. Because then the men at the bottom won't be big game hunting. Because who has your resources? Who has the access? The man in the suit. So the man in the suit is very smart, very cunning. He's not going to come off any position or secrets to attain what he has. No. What is a better thing to give these men at the bottom? Some blood. Women empowerment does not build a man. What do I get? What is the return on investment for me to watch this dope transaction of these men telling women to do this with your hair and do that with your hair? What do I do with that? What do I do with that? How come if I want to listen to something above the neck, I have to go to a different type of man to hear different type of knowledge? How come I have to go to a Manly P. Hall? Why do I have to go to a Gary V? Why do I have to go to a Brian Tracy? Why do I have to go to a Zig Ziglar, a Jim Rohn? Why do I have to go to an Elon Musk, right? Why can't I go to somebody with a fade to talk about philosophy, to talk about the nature of the universe, right? To talk about something that'll fulfill my curiosity. I believe the issue is the first matrix. The first matrix is a man's mother. From the average man to the low man to the high value man, one thing they have in common is the matrix. The matrix is a womb. We all come out the womb. There's a problem. Many of these men are still attached to the umbilical cord. They have not left the womb fully. Because if you close your mouth and you listen, you could not possibly say that these are men talking. This has to be people trapped in arrested development, because who would talk this immaturely? These men are still trapped in the womb. And it makes sense because their focus is still on the womb, telling women what they should do. Let me tell you, men, something, because it takes one to know one. You have a mother problem. I know that you have a mother problem. I'm not going to diagnose you or nothing, but I know that you have a mama problem. And let me tell you about your mama problem so you can move on and you could go do more things. You have to accept your mama's humanity. You know how I know you got a mama problem? Is because what you say to those women out there, you won't say to your mama. But that's what you think about mama. But you will never say that to mama. So you fire up these streams and you talk about that hair and you talk about that makeup. But your mama got 3 baby daddies. You feel some type of way about that. You gotta let it go, though. Mama's an individual. Mama is a human. You gotta learn to accept mama's humanity, bro. Mama was a human before you got here. It is not your job to judge mama. Whatever you don't like about mama, you just don't be it. But you have to understand and accept her humanity. Do you know why? So you can get out these bitches' face. Because you're in these women's face because you have a problem with mama. You wouldn't dare call mama a single mother. You and your sister and your brother got different dads. You wouldn't dare say what you say to these women to mama. When you talk about that hair and you talk about that makeup, you never compare those women to mama. You never say, well, my mama didn't wear a weave. You never say, my mama wasn't a thought. Why don't you be like my mama? You don't say that. And there's a reason why you don't say that. Right? Because what you hate about mama, you go and you address it with these women. But you can't control these women's womb just like you can't control mama's womb. I know that feels a certain type of way because guess what? I wanted to control mama's womb too. I wanted to tell mama what to do. I didn't like how mama was moving, right? I didn't understand what I was looking at when I was looking at mama. So because I couldn't control mama's womb, I needed to find somebody's womb that I could control. Because I needed some power. See, I didn't look at mama as an individual. Because mama, the title is something separate from her humanity. She's mama first and then human down here. Right? So everything she does is under a microscope. A lot of judgment for mama. A lot of shade from mama. Mama's flawed. Right? Mama got some things about her. Yeah, she does. You know why? Mama was a person before I was born. There was no counseling back then like there is now. There was no therapy back then like it is now. So the thing that was affecting mama, you had to just eat that. Mama was dark skinned. Mama lived in a place where they made mama feel bad about her skin. Men had things to say about mama's skin. Women, people had things to say about mama's skin. Okay. So by the time I'm born, I don't know what mama been through. Mama was in foster homes. And now stop telling mama's business right there. You put the rest together. So by the time I'm born, I want what I want. By the time you're born, you want what you want. You don't know mama's story and you don't care. Why this and why that? And you're looking at a flawed person. You're looking at a person that have been through some things, but they don't have the words to articulate it. And you grow up as the boy child with all these things bottled up. But what you want to say to mama, you don't. Because what you want to do is control mama's womb. And because you can't control mama's womb, you find a womb that you can control because these talking points are for womb control. Winners coming to get the women back at the table to negotiate. Why? So we could control the womb. Stats and statistics. You're going to die alone. You need to be scared. You need to make a decision now to let the man control the womb. But no judgment, no shade when it comes to mama. I understand. You live and you learn. And it's not my job, my responsibility, or my right to control mama's womb. See, we think because we get the nipple from mama, we get the womb too. You think if you get the nipple from mama that you get the womb too. Mama gave the womb to other men, and we don't like that. Uh-oh. Damn. Shouldn't have said that. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. Damn, I shouldn't have said that. You know that's what it is, right? That's what it is, right? Mama gave the womb. She gave the womb out, and we don't like that. Looking out the window, seeing a man leave, and he ain't say nothing to me. Someone coming out of mama's bedroom, I hear it. Oh yeah, that's on a lot of these boys' minds. Right now to this day, as a man, had to see somebody coming out of mama's room. You know what mama said? Stay in a child's place. That's what mama said. Stay in a child's place. You know what we did when we went in the room? I hate her. I hate this house. Ah! Grabbing pencils, like, I hate mama. Trying to pinch ourselves. Take this, mama. Then you grow up and you want to control other people's womb because you couldn't control mama's womb. So all the focus, all the attention, all the concern is focused on women. Oh, it's all their fault. I'm the leader, but the community is messed up because of the women. I'm logical. I'm the leader. We're the leaders. But the women don't listen to us. Look, let mama go. Let the womb go. It's not your concern. It's not your concern. Just like my mama have to be accountable for whatever happens to her womb. Those women that you're making these podcasts about and this content about, they have to look themselves in the mirror. They have to live in the die with the decisions that they make. It's not your job to police women. It's not your job to try to control the womb, because it's only one thing that you can control, and that is yourself. Born alone, die alone. One thing for sure, two things for certain. When you die, a bunch of women are not going to hop in the casket with you. They're going to keep on popping it. They're going to keep on doing what they're doing. They're going to keep on. Don't matter, bro. It don't matter, bro. You got to focus on yourself like an only child. You got to accept mama's humanity. You got to accept these women humanity. They are human. They are flawed. They're going to do whatever they want, just like your mama did whatever they want. You know why? Because you want to do whatever you want. So how you don't understand that about women? What you want, women want. What you don't like, women don't like. They're human. Mama was human. See, you can accept daddy's humanity. You can accept daddy's flaws. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? A man gonna be a man. Ha ha. Man gonna be a man. I got the call-in number right there. You can call in anytime. Call in anytime. Don't keyboard warrior me to death. That's the number right there. We accept daddy's flaws. I understand, daddy. Huh. The freedom is getting out of the matrix. Right? The freedom is getting out of the matrix. The freedom is getting off of mama's womb. Come out of mama's womb. Cut the umbilical cord to mama's womb. That is the freedom. That's the freedom. The way that you keep focusing on these women is you jumping back in mama's womb. You scared to leave it because you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do. And that's accept mama's humanity. That is the freedom. You don't want to accept that your mama was flawed. You don't want to accept that your mama was human. You know why? Because you put women on a pedestal. You expect something out of women that you don't expect out of men. You expect sexual discipline out of women, but you can't do it. You expect certain behavior out of women, but you can't do it. You police women in a way that you want to live through them in this way of righteousness, but you can't do it. Don't talk about a woman being for the streets when men created the streets. Don't have a problem with women being for the streets. Have a problem with the streets. But for you to have a problem with the streets, that means you're going to have to clash with other men. No smoke. If you don't like the policies and the government with women, go talk to other men. Go talk to Goldman Sachs. No smoke. Because there is a man somewhere orchestrating all that. You can't check mama. You know why? Because you're not the genuine article. You don't have a leg to stand on. You can't check these women about body counts when you're a male whore. You leverage your character and put it on the table. You leverage your philosophy, not a talking point, a complete way of life, and you show your results, and you put that on the table, and you allow people to decide if they want to live like you. But you can't do that because you got to pull the beam out of your eyes first before you try to pull it out of other people. You're a runaway slave. Your bodies are running away from the mind. Your bodies are separate from the mind. A bunch of games in play. The nig is gonna nig, even in a financial crisis. The nig is gonna nig, even in a recession, even in a depression, even in a financial reset, even during a quarantine. You're still gonna do games and play because your body is going that way and your mind is going this way. Runaway slave. Because if you bring your body back to your mind, then you're going to have to tap into what you don't want to tap into. Responsibility, dependability, leadership. No one want no smoke with that. Accountability, no smoke. Blame it on the women. Your body going that way, your mind going that way. Because your mind can't be sitting through content of men dragging women. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say it's just your body there with no head. Your body's there, but your head is gone. Because no right-minded person, no right-minded man is going to be sitting watching that, getting off on that. You know why? Because you told me that you was the descendant of a slave. You told me that you're oppressed.
You told me that you're being targeted and you're being hunted. So I expect people that believe they're oppressed, believe they're targeted, believe they're being marginalized, hunted, put down. You wouldn't mess with no content like that, right? Because you would be stay locked in to be war ready, right? Body going that way. But it's the drug though. See, this content is a drug. It makes the body separate from the mind. And it makes the body just run reckless while there's no development of the mind. Because when you develop the mind, it's not sexy. It's boring. When you develop the mind, there's no games and there's no play. You're a runaway slave. Go in and bring your body back to your mind. Because your family needs you. Your children need you. You need you. You still have time to make history. You still have time to do something exceptional. You still have time to do something that your father never did. You still have time to do something amazing. But you got to forgive mama, though. You got to let it go. You got to forgive mama. You got to accept her humanity. You got to let go of mama's womb. And you got to let go of women's womb. Trust me, there is better things to have power over than the woman's womb. You got to have bigger dreams. You think that is power in controlling the womb. Having womb control is not more powerful than having self-control. Because self-control can take you all over the world. Self-control can have you sitting next to people that you never thought you would sit next to. Self-control can have you live in these words that you write on paper and you actually go and make it happen. Self-control can result in you checking your bank account and it has so many zeros that you can't even say the number. What do you get from womb control? What's the return if a woman says, here's my womb, it's yours to control? What do you get in return? What do you get? Because I got some bad news for you. All the content that you're making about being for the streets, about body count, about women's makeup, I got some bad news for you. The women don't care. They didn't care about winter coming. They would rather starve than to allow you to control their womb. So now we got a dilemma. An unstoppable force is about to clash into an unmovable object. We have a dilemma because they don't care. So what are you going to do? What's your options? They'll call the podcast. They'll get on it and talk. Women like attention, but they don't care. Does it look like they're changing? Did it look like winter came?
So now what? You can grab your passport. You can go overseas. You can do that. But everywhere you go, beloved, there you are. Everywhere you go, fam, there you are. Right? When you forgive mama and you accept mama's humanity, you let go of the womb. You let go of the womb. One of the things that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to give up your occupation that you have of being a stat and data kingpin. You have to stop being a stat and a data kingpin and focus on some information that is going to develop yourself. Because y'all have told me 1 in 4 black women will get married. That's a useless stat. 80% of women get divorces. The Morningham report. Let me see. You got the wrong stats. This is last year this time. Black men have less financial security than white men. Hold on. Why are you telling me about black women being married? Why are you talking about women? Black men have less financial security than white men. You are a stat and data kingpin. I give you that. Y'all know how to sling them stats about women's wombs. You're talking about the wrong stats. The article reads, as far as using money resource, there is a massive disparity between black Americans and white Americans. Consider this. The average value of saving and investments of white men stands at $422,000, more than 2 times the $168,000 for black men. These disturbing numbers compounded over time mean that the middle class black Americans will have less financial security in retirement and less wealth to pass on the next generation, says Kelly Johnson, a fixed income portfolio manager with Charles Schwab Investment Management. As a chartered financial analyst, Johnson has over 25 years of experience in the financial services industry with expertise in institutional investor relations, client portfolio management, and financial advice and planning. As a first-generation black college graduate, Johnson recognizes that men over 40, particularly African-American men, may feel pressure to know everything and have a hard time asking for help. Didn't I just say that? You know why? Because you're over there focused on women empowerment. These young men got questions. Hell, I still have questions. I'm 38. Hey, what is it like to be 50? I want to talk about retirement. I want to talk about my next 30, 40 years with other men. But when I come online, y'all are talking about rat beef. Y'all are talking about women, sexual partners. Y'all have nothing for me. But you know how many black women will get married. Why? Why do you know 1 in 4 black women will get married? Why do you know that? 1 in 3 black men are not invested in the stock market. Johnson recommends that they do not stash their money under a mattress unless it's for next week's groceries. He suggests considering investing their hard-earned cash in vehicles like workplace retirement plan, 401k or IRA, or brokerage account where it can grow over time and earn interest on investments. Less than 1 in 5 black men have a written financial plan. Johnson's tip is BYOP, build your own plan. Create a financial plan with an expert who can, wait a minute. The way that this individual is talking, this is not what the male platforms talk about per se. They're talking to women. Y'all know the wrong stats. You talk about the women. You don't talk about other men, though, which would make more sense. Let's do a little reading today. This is from the Brookings Institute. Real quick. The COVID-19 pandemic has inflicted devastating effects on the U.S. economy, with job losses especially concentrated among women, minorities, and low-wage workers. Economists have described the uneven and unequal economic recovery from the COVID-19 recession as a K-shaped recovery, characterized by divergent recovery trajectories for the affluent relative to those of less means. While considerable attention has been devoted to examining the pre-existing disparities in labor market outcomes that has left some households more vulnerable than others to the COVID-19 recession, less attention has been paid to the role of wealth in determining a household's ability to buffer the pandemic's economic shocks. Wealth, defined as the difference between a household's asset and debt, describes a critical safety net to households during economic downturns. Wealth holds several advantages over wages as an economic resource. In particular, income from wealth is taxed at a much lower rate than income from work, and wealth can serve as a source of savings to absorb temporary setbacks such as a loss of employment income. A previous Hamilton analysis reveals staggering inequalities in wealth held by white versus black households. Using updated data from the Survey of Consumer Finances for 2019, we find that black-white wealth persisted into the black-white wealth gap persisted into COVID-19 pandemic, leaving black households far fewer resources than the storm, the inequality preceding COVID-19. This is the conversation that I would expect men to have, especially men that say that their ancestors were slaves. This is what I would think that men that come from a slave history, this is the conversation I thought that you would have. In 2019, the median household, the median white household held $188,200 in wealth, 7.8 times that of the typical black household, $24,100. It is worth noting that levels of average wealth, which are more heavily skewed by households with great amounts of wealth, are higher. White households reported average wealth of $983,400, which is 6 times that of black households, $142,500. While median wealth is more reflective of the typical household, the scale of average wealth is indicative of the outsized levels of wealth held by the richest households. The black-white wealth gap today is a continuation of decades-long trends in wealth inequality. Over the past 30 years, the median wealth of white households has consistently consistently dwarfed that of black households, ranging from $106,900 in 1992 to $185,400 in 2007, both adjusted to inflation dollars of 2019. In the second quarter of 2020, white households, who account for 60% of the US population, held 84%, 94 trillion of total household wealth in the US. Comparatively, black households, who account for 13.4% of the US population, held just 4%, 4.6 trillion of total household wealth. They have 94 trillion in household wealth. Black households have 4.6 trillion household wealth, right? I think it would be a good idea for men right now to stop focusing on women. It's like this 94 trillion. See. Let me see. Okay. In addition to with the wealth gap, a gender wealth gap reveals another dimension of wealth inequality. We use microdata from the 2019 Survey of Consumer Finances to analyze how black-white wealth gap varies by gender throughout the life cycle. Because the FCF is a household level survey and the vast majority of householder respondents within married couples are men, our analysis involved gender are limited to single households. In single households, male and female respondents are each representative of their personal held holdings of wealth. Figure 2 shows that single white men start with the highest median wealth, which continues to outpace that of single white women and single black men and women throughout the life cycle. The median wealth of single white men under 35 is $22,000. It is 3.5 times greater than that of single white women, $6,470. That's just people under 35. 14.6 times greater than that of single black men. Let's get specific here. So these are men claiming single, right? Men under 35, their wealth is estimated to be $22,640. Single women under 35, their wealth is estimated $6,470. Black men under 35, their wealth is $1,550. And black women under 35, your wealth is $101. Now, I know that I'm talking about black men right now, but that black girl magic is cap. I'm sorry. You and this Negro need to work together to get some money. I don't care about you getting married. I don't care about you hooking up. Y'all don't have to be sexually involved with each other. Y'all need to get some money together. Y'all need to get some bread. Men, when you are hopping in these girls' inbox, the only question is, how you making money? Can we get some money together? Nope, move on. How you making money? Can we get some money together? No more. Yo, the sex and the chilling, that comes later. Huh. But by the age of 55 and older, though, single white men hold 1.3 more times wealth than single white women and 8.1 times more than single black men. The median wealth of single black women trails slightly behind that of black men until the age of 55, when single black women hold $40,760 in median wealth compared to single black men with $27,000. Hold on. Hold on. So black men 35 and younger have more median wealth than the black women. But when it comes to being 55 and older, black women have $40,760 and black men have $27,000. I think you niggas need to stop talking to women about dying alone. They're better in the long run than you. Let's just say them 35 and below, right? Y'all like to talk about their whole phase. Okay, cool. During their whole phase, they only have $100 in wealth. Okay, this is what y'all say. But when they come to their senses and they stop doing that, they end up doing better than black men, single. So it is actually true that a black woman in her 50s does not need a man. I'm just saying, looking at the numbers here. 35 and below, black men got black women. Cool. 50 and up, black women got black men. So that means black women are better in the long term. Black men would be good in the short term. I mean, tell me, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Is that correct? How do I gauge that? One person has more money when we're younger, one person has more money when we're older. So this would mean that it would be wiser for the women to get in a relationship when they're older. Hmm. This is why it's important for men to work on themselves. Because based on the numbers, you actually begin to dip as you get older. Because you're messing with these drugs, these content drugs, you end up losing in the end. Focus on yourself. Because while y'all are talking about women hitting the wall, but the numbers show that the man hits the financial wall on average in his 50s. He doesn't get better, he gets worse. Now, this is the single men. This is the Brookings Institute. Y'all talking about the wrong stats. But I don't blame a lot of you younger men. It's these dudes that older than you that don't got nothing for you, but bad information. Y'all talk about the wrong stats. Y'all talk about the wrong stats. Statistically speaking, black men live 7 years less than men of other racial groups. Hold on. Y'all are talking about the wrong stats. Statistically speaking, black men live 7 years less than other men of other racial groups. You need to upgrade your dope. You need to upgrade your content. You need to tell these men how to live 7 years longer so they can have time with their loved ones. They can have time with their grandchildren. You don't get better, you get worse as you get older. They also have higher death rates than black women for all leading causes of death. Black men have a higher incident and higher rate of death from oral cancer and have a higher risk of developing HIV and AIDS in their life. %44 of black men are considered overweight. 37.5% are obese. Black men suffer from more preventable oral diseases that are treatable. Black men have a higher incidence of diabetes and prostate cancer. Black men have a high suicide rate. Is the third leading cause of death in 15 to 24-year-olds. That's a travesty. Those are young boys. What are y'all talking about over there on your channels? 15 to 24? Offing themselves? Where's their dad? What is the purpose of a high value man? If you have no impact on males 15 to 24, you mean to tell me the only impact a high value man has is when it comes to dating? It's not good. Y'all need to worry about yourself, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Worry about your health because y'all like statistics, right? Cool. I'm going to talk the language that y'all talk and get on my stat kingpin shit. Y'all like stats, but you only got stats to talk about women. But you don't turn no stats on yourself when you need to. Let the women police themselves. Let women talk to women. You're giving unsolicited game for free, and the women ain't asking you for it. Yeah. Y'all need to do this. Y'all need, if anything, package it up and sell the game, player. If you got the secrets to marriage and dating and blah, 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 and leveling up, put it in a bag and sell it. Ten leading causes of death. According to the Centers of Disease and Control and Prevention, the CDC, the following were the leading causes of death of Black men in 2019. Heart disease, 27.3%. Cancer, 20%. Unintentional injury, 7.9%. Homicide, 5%. Stroke, 4.9%. Diabetes, 4.3%. Chronic lower respiratory disease, 3.2%. Kidney disease, 2.6%. I don't even know how to say this. Septicemia, 1.8. Hypertension, 1.6. Homicide, a leading cause of death for younger Black males. In this category of leading causes of death, when broken down by age group for Black males in the U.S., more disturbing statistics are revealed. For young Black men between ages 15 to 44, the number one cause of death in 2017 was homicide. So it ain't even safe for your sons out here. It's not safe for your sons. Why are y'all talking about these women when it's not safe for your sons? It is not safe for your son to be 15. But they got the thing going all the way to 44. So to be safe, you got to make it to be an old man. Come on, man. Ages 1 through 19, homicides account for 35.3% of total deaths for Black males. When y'all say y'all the most desired, what do you mean by that? Who desires to be with someone when this is the life? When around 55, your money goes down, your health goes down, you're not a good long-term partner. Why are you talking about women? You're not a good partner for the long term. I will give the Black male this. You are a good weekend warrior, bro. That's what people are signing up for. Sex on the weekend. But on some long-term partner-ish, no. Based on the numbers. I'm only doing this because y'all talk about stats. I don't give a damn about stats, but y'all do. What I care about is when men get together, you have intimate conversations because people have questions. These boys don't know nothing about a mortgage. They don't know how to sign a check. They don't know how to open up a bank account. I thought you was about men. You don't care about men. Because if you did, you wouldn't be focused on telling women to get a husband. And you wouldn't be telling men it's okay for them to stay average. Especially when you're the dude with the bag. I wish I would listen to a dude with a bag tell me it's okay. A woman should just accept where I'm at. Nigga, please. 1 through 9, 19, 35.3% die from homicides. It ain't safe for your son outside, but you talking about women? (20 to 44, 27.6). It's not safe to be a Black man until you are over 45 years old. So you mean to tell me you got to survive all that? just to get 50, and we still live 7 years longer than everybody else. Damn. Black man, black boys need you, yo. They need you. If you don't got no money, cool. Tell them what you know. If you got some money, I ain't saying put money in their hand. Tell them to come up with a business plan, and you'll put to it. Take them with you to go play basketball. Y'all say y'all care about men. It ain't safe. Look, let me blow this up, man. It's not safe for a black man until he's 45. And by then, you probably got some health concerns. But around other black males, it is not safe. Y'all talking about women, though? Y'all focus on the wrong stats. 2016 report on HIV risk for black men. In February 2016, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a report assessing the lifetime risks of HIV in the U.S. by state, as well as the key at-risk populations. The report reveals surprising statistics for black men in the U.S. Among black men, there is a 1 in 20 lifetime risk compared to a 1 in 132 lifetime risk for a white man. Every 20 black men, one HIV or AIDS. If these rates continue, approximately 1 in 2 black men who have sex with men will be diagnosed with HIV in their lifetime. That's 50%. Y'all talking about the wrong stats. Now, why does that statistic matter? Because I heard Kevin Samuels say we need to advocate men being with men. That's what he said. Well, if these rates continue, approximately 1 in 2 black men who have sex with men will be diagnosed with HIV in their lifetime. There is a 1 in 20 lifetime risk for a black man to get HIV or AIDS in his lifetime. 1 in 20. Compared to a 1 in 132 lifetime risk for a white man. Everybody just sit with that for a second. The number is open 520-510-3254. Questions, comments? Call the numbers 520-3254. 520-510-3254. Y'all talking about the wrong stats. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the men should be checking the women. If you want to cam up, the link is in the chat too. Call the numbers 520-510-3254. It's on the screen, 520-510-3254. That's a hell of a stat. 1 in 20. If you make content talking about women's empowerment, I think you're wrong. I think you're making a mistake. You need to ask your brethren, are they okay? You need to ask your brethren, are they good? You need to ask your brethren, do they need anything? Men need to get together and do a weekend with each other. No social media, no none of that. Camping or something. Have a real conversation. Calling number is 520-510-3254. If you want to have a question, concern, while I wait for that. Y'all focused on the wrong stats. I'm gonna put them in your face because y'all got the stats about women being married. Like, life goes on if you don't get married. Like, life goes on. Life goes on, man. Okay. So, let me move this over. All right. So, 1 second. All right. So the dark blue is white. The light blue is black. The off blue is Asian, and the gray is Latinx. Okay. So this is the weekly income, weekly average, right? So this right here is black men, average, right? Weekly, $813 weekly income. Okay. This is white men, average white men, not Elon Musk. This is everyday white men. $1,134 weekly, right? Asian men, $1,414. Latin men, $826 weekly. So Latin men make just what, $13 more on average weekly, right? Things could change every now and then, but this is weekly. But white men, now when you do compound interest on this, it winds up being a big difference. $1,134 for white men, $813 for black men, $1,414 for Asians, right? Why y'all talking about women? Because I'm not the smartest man, but I think this Latin number will go up and this Asian number will go up. Will this black number go up? Weekly, this is black women, right? This is white women, average. White women make $929 weekly, average. Black women make $783, right? Black men make 813 weekly. Black women make 783. You're not that much more than black women. Why are y'all talking to black women like that? I mean, since we're going to do stats, see, it does not matter if people get married or not. It really don't. It really doesn't. It's not an indicator of nothing, especially not in the digital world. It's nothing. But money matters. Skills matter. Resources matter. Y'all focus on the wrong stats. That's all I'm saying. But my line is open, 520-510-3254. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't like bullies. Y'all be wah, wah, wah. Y'all have no smoke for dudes. And y'all not standing on nothing righteous. Call my phone now because you're going to come in my comment section and talk about single mothers. I already know. And I'm not banging on you. What I'm saying is you matter. And you matter more than to focus on women. Can you have critiques of women? Of course. They're not above reproach. Of course you can. But in your critique, you have to leverage your character. So even if the women don't come over to what you're saying, at least they'll say, you know what, bro? I respect you, but that's just not for me. You got to leverage your character, though. You can't talk about sexual discipline. You can't expect sexual discipline unless you can teach it. You can't tell the women to pick better. You have to show them. Oh, we got a call. Hold on. This is Ken, Coin Gang. What's happening?
Ken.
Yes, sir.
Yo, this is Chris Ward, Smart Johnson over there.
What's going on, family?
It was real quiet. You got them in their feelings right now, man. It was quiet. Yesterday the phone was blowing up. So I just decided to call in just to give you a salute, bro. I don't have nothing, nothing to oppose what you're saying. I was actually saying this yesterday. Why do we have men talking about women? And there's men issues that we need to be like that needs immediate attention. Why are we talking about women right now? Let's put ourselves on the chopping block, or on the crucifixion cross, or on the pedestal, and talk about men right now. We taking L's all across the land right now, Ken.
Did you see those health statistics that I showed?
Sir, let me tell you something.
Did you see that, bro?
I'm one of those statistics. I was trying so hard not to be another statistic. I'm one of those, bro. I'm 41. I'm retired. I'm medically retired because of my health. I got stents right now, bro. I played college football. I was healthy, as I thought. Thought I was healthy until I had to go to the hospital.
Well,
I take my health real serious, and like what you're saying, that's why I built this program called Smart Jocks Mobile. And I love to link up with you, bro. I've been trying to get at you for a while, but I built this program to teach young men how not to be suckers. Because I grew up with a stepfather who worked his ass off. Construction, laid bricks. I went with him when I was 7. That's when he met my mom. So I had a stepfather raising me. You know what they do in the wild? You know what lions do to stepchildren?
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
My biological father is still alive right now. Zero relationship with him. He don't do it. So I decided to do it because I got a daughter. Bro, I got a 24-year-old daughter. I just had a grandbaby.
Ooh.
I got a 6-month-old grandbaby.
Wait, you 41, your daughter's 24?
Do the math. I was trying not to be one statistic, end up being that statistic, but I've been working hard not to continue to. And now here you go throwing up some numbers, bro, that I'm falling right. I'm not even 45 yet, so I still got to watch out for niggas trying to shoot.
Oh man. Okay. Wow. Okay, you're a granddad. Okay. All right. So, do you know what to do?
I'm doing it, man. Matter of fact, I'm in here painting. I pay mortgage. I don't live in no apartment complex. You know what a mortgage comes with? A yard. You know what a yard requires? To be cut. I live in Georgia. The summertime and spring, grass getting ready to grow. Somebody got to cut that grass, bro. Somebody got to pay this mortgage note. Matter of fact, my daughter called me right now.
Wow. So, okay. So, quick question. So, you was a young dad. How was it? How was it raising your daughter as a young father? Like, what did that look like?
It looked like giving up a scholarship to Tuskegee University and moving back home and getting into corporate America. As a freshman, as a senior in high school, we went 0-10. I got a full ride to Tuskegee University, bro, on an 0-10 high school team. I gave that shit up to be a dad.
Did you and the mom, did y'all get to work it out?
I tried. Thought that was the right thing to do.
And
but as a stat, she wrote off. You know what, 22-year-old? She was a little bit older than me. She was 22.
She didn't want the relationship?
She wanted to go hang out with her friends, go to the club, do everything else. I was trying to be like, I was too. But I made the choice. I'm like, I grew up without a father in my life. And I had a stepfather who didn't treat me unfairly, but it's like, it's a stepchild. I got a younger brother and an older sister, or older stepsister. So I was the middle, kind of like the middle stepchild. So I wanted to make sure my daughter didn't have to go through the same shit I did by not having not just a man, because it's different. You can have a man in your life, but it's different when you have a man in your life that's telling you and teaching you what to do and what not to do, what to look out for, how to maneuver in certain situations. When to shut up, when to choose your battles, like when to shut up. That's a big thing that I see now. All these men are talking. Y'all need to shut the fuck up right now.
Let me ask you this. So you have a 24-year-old daughter. So I know she be on social media. Do you think that any of the male content that they're creating towards the women, do you think any of it is useful to your daughter?
And it's funny because she's not even on social media no more, bro. My daughter just started at Geico a couple months ago. She's still in training right now. She went through that. She wanted to be, everybody, that's the age group. They want to be famous, and social media is everything. But she actually, I worked her through that stage. I let her do what she did her thing, but she worked through that stage. Social media don't mean nothing to her no more. Not in the sense of likes and views. And so we capitalized on it. I built her a website when she was 18. When she graduated from high school, I built her a website so she can pursue her passion and braiding hair. That's what we was doing on social media when she was 18.
Are you seeing a woman right now?
No.
Would your daughter be receptive to you seeing a woman? Like,
yeah,
seriously?
That's not a problem. Like, but actually, one of my ex-girlfriends is like Well, let me explain it. I was dating a young lady that was 10 years younger than me. So when I was 30, she was 20. So she was closer in age to my daughter. So they became like sister friends. She called her stepmom, but they're like they got a great relationship. But I was seeing somebody, and I stepped out, bro. I stepped out. Like we live right now, still, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, hey, listen up, because this is what's happening. And I'm like, I tapped in. I stopped painting my room so I could call because I didn't hear it, but I want to share this. I stepped out because I tried black women, I tried the young women, I tried the old women. I went and got a country ass 30-foot white girl. Tried that. They're all the same. Like it's a certain kind of program. Color means nothing. It's the same economic struggle. They're doing the same thing.
What do you mean it's all the same? What do you mean by that?
There's like a social program. Like we're out here, like what I'm seeing. Again, I don't like to throw up stats because I like to talk about what I see and what I physically observe, and I can tell you, like some of the stats you were reading off, those apply to me as far as suicide. Like I've experienced that as a young black man. I lost some friends. I lost some cousins to suicide.
But when you say that the women are all those women were the same, can you elaborate on it?
Saying the program, yes, the program as far as what they're looking for. This is what happened. Let me tell you like this. I was trying to gather my thoughts for that question, but when I say they're all the same, what I've experienced, they're looking for the same thing in a man, and that's somebody to take care of them financially and sexually. That's what I personally ran into.
Okay, do you have me on speakerphone?
Yes.
Is there anybody around you?
No.
Okay. Humans want to fuck, bro.
That's how we got here.
Women like sex too, right? Like more than we thought, right? Surprise, niggers, right? Okay, all right. So is that a problem?
No.
Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, in my case it is. I'm a little bit different. I'm not like again, I'm 41 and retired. So yeah, I agree with that. I'm trying to have sex, and that's where I'm at personally in my relationships. I'm looking for sex first. I don't give a fuck about money because I'm straight. I got that. So I'm looking for a sexual relationship first. I'm looking for looks first. That's the mentality I personally have.
Okay.
And I might attract, I guess you.
Okay. All right. Now we can get into it. Okay. So look. All right. So here's the deal. If you are looks driven, then you have to say that those women was the same program because that's what you were on.
Yes, sir.
Right. So we can't say that they all want the same quote thing if you are seeking.
No, that's why I said me in my situation.
Okay.
I don't like to speak in general for all.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Because they're all not like that. I know some great women that are not sexually driven and that are the total opposite.
So okay. So them wanting the sex is not a problem. That's what you want, right?
That's mutually, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't want them to be taken care of? You don't want them to be focused on that?
Me personally, right now, no.
Oh,
because see, I did that. I literally took care of. married women. They were still married, I guess you can say, like separated. But I took on I became the stepfather and took on stepchildren, I guess you can say, and just in a relationship. We weren't close to marriage or engaged or nothing like that. It was just boyfriend and girlfriend. But anytime I'm with someone in that relationship category, yes, I'm taking care. Like that's automatic. It's like sex and wellness. Like we gonna be good.
Okay. Someone in the chat wanted to know, what example does that set for your daughter though? Is she married? Someone in the chat had a question for you.
Is she married? No. Is she in a relationship? Yes.
Okay.
Are they in a serious relationship? Yes. But see, again, I don't do the traditional anything really. So as far as my daughter goes, my daughter is like, they're good. They're together. They have a child. They're coexisting in the same environment. They're not married, but they're making it happen. And I'm reassuring that because they're living in a house that I own rent free. So I made sure I provided a safe haven for not only my daughter, but my granddaughter and her, and her significant other.
Do you want him to marry her?
If they choose to get married, that's up to them. I can't deal with nobody's relationship, right? Because I don't agree with marriage. You talked about it before, like we talked about it before in the past. I've been following you for about 3-4 years now. But my experience with marriage has not been good. I did not want to go down that road my parents went through. Every relationship that I've seen growing up, and people were married, they were not happily married. I've seen the ins and outs, like all of it. Nobody was happily married. It started out hot, but
do you think that marriage is for happiness?
That's what I was taught or told or led to believe it was, for happiness. But I see marriage as a business relationship. That's like, we're going into business together, tax breaks and everything.
So would you, even though you're not gonna step in their business, would you encourage them to get married since they had a child?
Yes.
You would encourage them to get married.
Well, I wouldn't even say, again, saying marriage for me is a little bit different, but would I and do I encourage them to stay together? Yes.
Would you encourage them, if they're going to stay together and they have the child, would you encourage them to get married?
For language sake, let's say yes, because I'm saying yes. So marriage is staying together and being that family nucleus that we have been told, taught, yes, because it's going to take 2 people to raise a child, like one child, especially with inflation. Like, literally, the gas prices are going up right now. So it's going to take two people. I think, you were saying that earlier. I was going to say, somebody was saying this earlier. Like, y'all need to get together, get some bread. Fuck all that other shit.
I understand about what you mean about the tradition. I think that people make the mistake of throwing the baby out with the bathwater. No, people don't have to go walk down the aisle and do any of that. However, if we're going to be in each other's life, we have to do certain things about the tradition that benefits both of us, and that's from the economic side. So what I mean is, since they have a child together, does she have life insurance on him?
No.
She wants to do that ASAP because young men do die, right? So you want to do that ASAP. So you don't have to walk down the aisle. That's fine. But the legal part of it, because you said it's a business, so there's some things that need to be done in the realms of business in terms of making sure each other's good. If anything happens to him, she's good and she don't have to ask another man for no money if something happens to you, right? So we don't want to throw the baby out the bathwater. You don't have to walk down the aisle. You don't have to do the reception. You don't have to do the ceremony. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But the legal side of it, right? The legal side of it at least, because you just never know. And life insurance policies, some of them are $20 a month.
And there's no reason not to have one, bro. I just buried both of my parents in the last 3 years. 2019, my stepfather passed away. 2021, January 2021, my mother passed away.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So you understand. You
do I ever understand?
Yes. Okay. I wouldn't.
Like what you saying that, like that's the message that's what Smart Jocks Mobile. That's why I built my program. But that's what my curriculum teaches the young man, like behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get insurance policies on ourselves.
I would
get insurance policies now.
My suggestion, because you have a daughter with a child, I would suggest, this is my suggestion, that you tell your daughter to do business with him, and in-home business, like the life insurance. I know health insurance premiums, sometimes they do be expensive, but things like that, to do the business aspect with him. Because, like, it is very easy for a guy to step off. It's very easy, right?
Especially not married.
It's
legally.
Right. So even if they don't do the legal marriage, if you don't suggest that, at least do something that if he does step off, she doesn't take the hit. And you want to do that yesterday, because being a young man, just young men do young men things sometimes. You know what that's like. So that's something I wouldn't gamble on. I wouldn't gamble on. Has he told you his intentions, like what he sees, moving forward? Take you out the equation. Is she good with him for an extended period of time?
As a father, to a daughter, I have to say, like, because I know men, I know young men. I know myself. Like I was his age at one time. Well, they're a little bit older than me when I had her, but no.
She's not good with him?
No, she's good with him now, but as far as like, I know I've seen their relationship. Like he's a stand-up guy. Like they just actually moved back into my house. They moved into my house back to the city I'm in, but they actually moved to his hometown. He's from outside. I'm down in Macon, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. So he lives outside of Macon, which was small country town. But they moved out there and did the right thing. But they had to come back because of work. It was more, it's a bigger city. And my daughter just started at Geico, so that's where they're back here. But they're doing everything that they're supposed to do by the standards, by the making sure everything is taken care of, making sure the baby is taken care of.
And do you think that they're not pressing the issue to get married because of your thoughts on it?
No, my thoughts have nothing to do with it. I have no influence on their relationship like that.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a real question. How would you respond if he made her a baby mama? how would you like? What would be? How do you deal with that?
As a grandfather, just as a man, I know how life goes. My concern right now is first the baby and then my daughter. But really, that's like my concern is my grandbaby. As long as she has everything that she needs moving forward into the future that we're going into.
Okay. So here's the thing, bro. Not just you, me, not just you, me, a lot of us. We've been taught wrong. The reason why I'm saying this is because if it was me and I was with your daughter, and the reason why I would think twice because of leaving is because you and I have established some type of relationship, right? And I know that I got myself into something, and unless what's going on in the house is life threatening to where it's dangerous for us to be together, I don't get to pick happy. I don't get to pick that. So I wouldn't want to leave because I wouldn't want to. I'm gonna just go on some man stuff. I wouldn't want to disappoint you because you're actually my second father now, right? And because our relationships being a free for all, the people can just leave, and it's too easy to leave. It's too easy to leave. So I would have to say, man, I can't. I made this commitment to Mr. Chris that I'm gonna rock this thing through. Now, I'm not even asking for nobody to be monogamous. I'm not talking about none of that. Like, I don't get involved in that kind of stuff. I am talking about the structure of the child and the parents. What the I don't get into the other thing. You're in a position right now as the watchman. You have to oversee that situation, bro. Because unless he's doing anything detrimental to her or the child, he can't leave. And you have to put the pressure on him to know that he can't leave. And that's why he has to come to you when he gets afraid and he gets that feeling, you know. You always have to come back to the crib. I don't care what you're doing out there, you got to come back in the crib because, as you said earlier, look at the country, inflation, we're at war, we're everything. You make a child right now, and you leave, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? There has to be some type of marriage dynamic. It doesn't have to be justice of the peace. Y'all can create your own thing for all I care. As long as you shoot.
Let me ask you this. Do we have that conversation again? Because I actually had that conversation, not word for word, but almost word for word, similar to that, before the baby was born.
Yeah, you got to check his temperature. I'm watching guys follow women into their home, bro. I'm watching women open their door and it's men behind them. When that child gets big, when that child's a teenager or whatever, and they decide to go their separate ways, hey, man. But right now, right now, you gotta rock out. I am a firm believer if you make your bed, lie in it. You have to be more involved because anything can happen to you. anything could happen to you. I personally think you need to sit both of them down, and I think you need to, because there's a child involved. If there was no baby, then it's different. There's is different. I'll give you an example. One time, right? See, I didn't know no better, right? I was in a relationship, and the person I was with, she went and asked her grandfather for some money, and I wasn't there. Based on optics, how does that look? The girl showing up asking for money, and your man is not here. So it looks kind of like I sent her to go get some money for your peoples. I was supposed to be right there, because I'm taking she about to use this man's money for our relationship, and I wasn't there. You feel me?
No, I do, because I had that situation. But
right?
They kind of handled it. When they moved into the house, the water heater went out. And it's a duplex, actually, or tri-level, or two-level, but my younger brother lives downstairs. And my question to them was, it's 4 grown-ups in that household. Do I need to get involved right now? Because if I do, I will. If I get involved, things are going to change.
Well, you got to get involved. See, I didn't
financially involved.
Not just financially involved, advisory involved. See, I didn't know that.
No, I did that. I made sure everything was taken care of. But as far as finances,
you have to get involved and get these people married. See, I didn't know that I was supposed to go with this woman and sit down with her grandfather. I did not know that. I promise I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was the order thing to do. So now a person I'm with is showing up, talking to her grandfather, asking for money. He's like, "Where's your dude?" Where am I? You see, I didn't know. Now what I'm saying is, your daughter's boyfriend, he don't know.
Gotcha.
He don't know that he's supposed to chop it up with you, right? And say, "Sir, I don't know what to do. No, I don't have all the money." Because that's what the problem is for a young man, right? You don't know how to go talk to nobody because your shit is not together. But that's what everybody expects, though, from a younger man. People expect you not to have your stuff together, right? That's so he don't know that he's supposed to say, "Mr. Chris, I don't got everything figured out, but I got the best intention for your daughter because we have a child involved." He don't know that. I know he don't know that because this is not what the culture produces. So I know he don't know to come and talk to you like that. Because he got the same fear you and I had at the same age. You for your daughter, because you have health things going on, bro. So you need to know that if something happened to your children, your downline is good. And if she's gonna be in his hands, you have to intervene to the point where you know where this is going. It and it is different for girl children and guy children. It is like that's just what it is. You got to make sure that girl is straight because she got that baby. And you know the behavior of young dudes. You know it's unpredictable sometimes. He here 1 minute, gone the next, and then she's a woman with a child. Then, of course, down the line, she's gonna get in another relationship with another man, have another baby. That's the cycle. That's how it goes, bro. So I mean, I'm just.
Because that's what when they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. that's the road her mother took.
What's that?
Leave one relationship and go to another one.
That's what humans do. That's what humans do. And what I'm saying is the women pay a different cost doing that than men. I can go from house to house and just doing whatever. It's like them babies change a woman's whole trajectory of her whole life. So what I'm saying to you is you want to father over everything, right? It's put it like this. If we was to take the same conversation and plug it into, let's say, a Jewish household or a different culture household, that would be unacceptable for them to have that child and be around you not married.
Facts.
Am I lying? Am I wrong?
Facts.
All right. Okay. I'm just, y'all can go anyway. We just chopping it up,
I've been trying to look for something to disagree with you about, bro, for a long time.
You know what I mean? I'm only saying this because people didn't tell me the right way to move. So I only moved based on the information that I knew. It doesn't make me a bad dude. It doesn't make me nothing. Like, we genuinely are just on autopilot because there's no no cultural manual when you're doing specific things. People don't have kids, man, do you, whatever. But I'm real serious about them babies, though. I'm serious about them babies. It's a different story when we put that little person in the picture. When it's just us, do whatever you want, have at it. You put that little person in the storyline, it's different, man. It changes from I'm doing what I want to do. No. That want turns into need. Now everybody can't do what they want to do no more. The dynamics have changed. Now it's about we're going to do what we need to do. And a lot of things that we need to do, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be entertaining. It's not going to be exciting. We're not going to be happy. We have to delay instant gratification. We got to put a plan together because your grandchild is going to grow up and have to compete with other people's grandchildren. So we have to create the best environment to teach the child skill set, to make sure the child is buoyant, make sure the child has a perspective, is seasoned. Because that world that your grandchild is going to go into is a world that is vastly different than your or mine. A world of augmented reality. We can't even fathom what it looks like for that child to be 30, but we have to. We have to, because one of the flaws of the Negro is the Negro is masters of the past, but don't know what to do about the future and the present. Do not know where we're going, but they will tell you about the past. Think 30 years from now and think of the difference that the outcome of the child, not saying that is everything's going to be peaches and cream, but think of the difference if that man walks away from them. It sets the family on a different trajectory. You feel me? You feel me?
Yeah. I want to let it soak into the chat and everybody, let your words resonate for me.
And the thing about it, bro, is you not alone. It's mad stuff I don't know too, right? I don't even know how I got here, right? Some of it is luck, you know what I mean? Some of it is grace and favor, and somebody was praying for my ass, right? Because it's, I be grinding on this microphone. I don't know everything. There's things that I don't know. It's some things that I'm gonna come up short. The difference is when I come up short, I happen to not be on camera. And I come up short in ways people will be like, damn, Ken Billions, what? They would judge me. But I don't know everything. Men weren't sitting me down telling me how to do shit. I didn't know how to be with no woman. Where would I learn that? That's on the job training. And you know how many times I bump my head? I got a big ass head. It's swollen because of mistakes that I made. Done hitting my head. Right? But just from a man to another man, what I do know is what we talked about here is right and exact. And I think that's a good look. Just to set your until something else come and there's a better option or something. I think you should press play on that. I think y'all should have that conversation, man.
Absolutely, sir.
You feel me?
Absolutely. And like I said, I just got back in the chat too because I tried to have this conversation with you without the chat. But yeah, that conversation again, it's been had. But you answered my question. How often do we have that conversation? Do I stay on him?
Like white on rice.
Say less.
Like why don't put it like this? I go as far as look. You will not seed any finances in anything that is not righteous. Meaning, if they don't get married, you can't help that situation. Just like that. There's some things where we gotta play hardball on. I am not touching nothing if this thing ain't right and exact. I'm not putting no money to it. I'm not doing none of that. Y'all don't get married? Cool, y'all don't have to. Y'all figure it out.
Because I did I did something similar to that with finances. I required them to, before I gave them any more money, that they would have to take a financial literacy class, whether it's a free one online or it's with somebody somewhere. But
he can still take the knowledge he got from the financial literacy class and go start another family.
Facts. I appreciate you for pointing that out, bro.
Straight up, he could take that game and go. Niggas do it every day, B. Re-up over here and go start some new shit over there. I say you get fully in control. Don't leave that in the air, bro. Like we can't change the collective, but we can damn sure be the overseers of our house, man. And you're not being a bully neither. You're not asking something radical. They had a child. And you have a daughter at the age where she can go any direction. Some of these mothers are losing their goddamn mind with these children by themselves. It is not easy, man. It's not.
I've been dating women with children for years. I know.
You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is there's nothing keeping him there. See, I wouldn't ask unrealistic shit from a dude. I wouldn't ask him to control his dick. I don't ask stuff like that. Man gonna do what a man gonna do. That's just what it is. Right, wrong, I can protest or whatever. That's fine. You got to marry my daughter, though. Right? Come home every night. I wouldn't ask a young dude to be super nigga. I wouldn't ask that. I just need you not to leave. I'll start there and we'll work on other things later, but I have to solidify that. We have to put a code, man. We have to put some type of standard. It just can't be a free for all. This is a culture of free for all. I want to do what I want to do. That's cool. You just can't have no children. You have babies, the rules change.
That's right.
You feel me? So have a
just to throw something out there too. Like the young man does come from, he has his own family. He has a strong, family support system, both parents in the household.
He has a father in the house?
Yes, sir. Yes,
you and his father need to get them kids married. It's two men in the picture. And his daddy is okay with him getting women pregnant without marrying them. Not good. I've already talked to my 13-year-old son about this. You get somebody pregnant, we don't do baby mamas. We don't do baby mamas. You get one woman pregnant, you got to stay with her. You go out and get another woman pregnant, you got to move that woman in your house. These are the rules. We don't do baby mamas. You don't have side babies going nowhere. You make that bed right there, those are your women. You better figure it out. We don't do that. We set in a different tone, man. We don't do that. It's permanent underclass season, bro. So I didn't know that his father was in the picture. Why is he not pushing? But I get it, because he's the dad and that's a male son. So he's probably telling his son different information than you. You got to remember that. Even though it seems like they're supportive, his father is telling his son different information. For his son. You damn right. Yeah, man, don't let no bitch tie you down. Blah, blah. That's how he's talking to his son. Yeah, wait to get married, son. You got to be the initiator on that. Because for the mere fact that the daddy's in the picture and he ain't pushing his son to get married, he is never going to push that boy to marry your daughter. I promise you. See, the story gets different now, right? Because I didn't know the daddy was there, but it makes sense. He's thinking about the well-being of his son. He ain't thinking about your daughter. You can bet that. His dad wants his son to have freedom. Bro, I'm telling you right here. Right now. If that boy walk away, the mama on that side and the daddy on that side is going to support him gallivanting. And you are going to be stuck with the daughter, with the child, while that boy gets to do whatever he wants. I'm telling you.
We already know.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yep. Get in front of that, bro. ASAP. Because you got the daughter and the woman is going to catch the L. You're going to catch the L. And that is your bloodline.
Now let me ask you this. Is that preventable?
What's that?
Do you think it's preventable?
What?
From catching L's. You think I, as an outside source, can hold that relationship together, or are you saying just steer it in the right direction? And if it
you just
goes off,
you just have to do your part. If it goes off the track, it's not on your watch, but it's off track right now. It's off track, bro.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. And what I say is the foundation is not there.
And I didn't know that the daddy on the other side was in the picture. He is not.
Again, they're in the picture. I don't have a relationship with them. They live, they're hours away from me. I don't know them.
Oh man, this is Negro shit, bro. Like we having, like with the babies are having babies and the parents aren't in line. Like look, man. When my son starts dating, you can't date without me knowing their parents, man. Like just. I'm from the ghetto, bro. Like I'm switching my whole bloodline, the whole trajectory. Everything I did was wrong. Like all that shit was wrong, bro. Growing up hip hop, like it's wrong.
But who taught us? Who taught you?
Who taught me? Music.
Yeah.
Streets.
Okay, because that's why I said who taught us. But I didn't have no teacher, bro. Like Too Short taught me. I grew up in San Diego, California.
619, huh?
You already know.
Mm-hmm.
East Dago, 45th and Logan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they told me when I was 5. They said, anybody ask you where you from? You from East Dago, 45th and Logan.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad, my biological father, lived in LA. I got an older brother from his bloodline. They were in the rolling 60s. When I was in LA, when I was 5, 6, 7, they told me, anybody ask you where you from? You're from the 60s.
Hey, nip this shit in the bud, bro. Because those children weren't supposed to have a baby without you and those parents being in line. That's number one. I'm gonna tell you something else too. Your daughter needs to see you in a relationship.
A healthy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
No, like I'm saying, she does.
Mm-hmm.
And she like, yes. Yeah. And that's why I'm not in a relationship now, because I was talking to somebody, but it just like it didn't work out. It was an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah. Get in front of this, bro. Get in front of this, because the writing is on the wall. That male is allowed to skip around, bro. Get in front of this, man. ASAP. You know what I'm saying? And start opening up the lines of communication with that other side of the family, because this is how the dysfunctional shit starts.
Hey, you know what I've been doing? And this is the second weekend that went by, and I've been trying to be patient with them. But I told them every Sunday we cooking at my house. And life and all the other stuff, they've been running around. Well, actually, my daughter's mother had surgery, so she's been kind of like playing caretaker for her mother right now. So I've been kind of letting it slide on that way. Every Sunday at my house, we cooking. Every 7th of each month, we cooking and having a family day, family celebration on the 7th of each month.
And they never came?
Not yet. Again, so from 2 weeks ago, literally it's been 2 weeks. Her mother had surgery. So I've been kind of, again, I'm trying to be patient. They just moved in across the street about a month ago.
If you don't get in control of this, bro, this thing is going to have some nigga outcomes. Like nigga outcomes, bloodline outcomes, bro. That's going to affect people 30, 40, 50 years from now, because the writing is on the wall. So you're accountable for the things that you heard. You have to get in front of this, because it has the potential to just be another cycle, dog.
Spiral right out of control.
And just look at it like this. Those parents are not supportive parents. They're how? Like, y'all need to have a relationship. Their son got a baby, but your daughter, and he got a 2-parent household. That's his biological dad?
That I know of.
Anything else you want to share, bro, before I get off?
Nah, man, I just appreciate you in the coin game, bro. Like, I've been rocking with you for a minute.
Appreciate you too, bro.
Everybody in, like, be tapping in, like in the chat, like, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. I got nothing but love for you.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks for the call, man. Thank you for being transparent. You know, get in front of this, dog. You know what I'm saying? It's you still got an opportunity. And the decisions that you'll make right now, these are 20, 30, 40, 100-year decisions, man. You have to do it because one thing for sure, two things for certain, niggas gonna nig. And you don't want niggas to nig on your time.
I refuse to be out niggas again. They can get me. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. Like I said, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
All right. Cool beans.
Yes, sir. Just like I'm out.
All right. Peace, man. Shout out to bro for sharing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to bro for sharing. Cause you know, like it takes a lot for people to, you know what I mean, be vulnerable like that. So shout out to him for sharing. That's what's up. It's the Nothing But Game hotline. I'll be your accountability partner. You get this for free, but you call the line, you're going to pay. It's $1.99 a minute, right? 888-565-8734, 888-565-8734. Or if you want to book a session, you could go to kenbillions.com, right? kenbillions.com, and you can book a session, put yourself on a calendar. The Nothing But Game hotline is 24 hours. Or I think I got a 24 hour. Call the bat phone, right? Help me help you get better. All right. Just thinking about some things right now. Cash App is your friend. Go ahead and put it on the wood because ain't nobody doing what we doing. Period. All right. Until next time. Peace.
Biggest game. It's like, you know, remember we was all back in high school? Some of you may be still in high school or whatever, but follow me. We had the regular class and then you had honors class. And I feel like Ken Billion's game is nothing but honors class. Everything that you learned in life and been through in life or whatever he's talking about at that certain time. And, you know, like point of reference, game for guys. You know, everybody learn game from somebody and this and that, and it's all over the place. But once I listened to Game for Guys, it was like being in an honors class. Ken is a brilliant guy. I still listen to him to this day. Listen to him almost every other day, and I stay studying. You know, and that's if I look at a video and he's giving us homework. I'm gonna look through that video. I'm gonna write my notes down. I'm gonna do my homework. Then I'm gonna watch the next video. I mean, you just can't get enough of the game and the knowledge that this brother brings to you. He's allowed me to look back into history, my own history. I found out about black people that I never even knew about, black millionaires and people like that. Recently, I learned about the reticular activating system, and that's something that I'm studying up on as we speak. Which I plan on reprogramming myself. You know what I'm saying? So overall, the Ken Billion's game has done a lot for me. It's allowed me to elevate as a man, as a father. It just allowed me to be more excited about life and not be in the program of being oppressed. And that's one of the main things for me that I have to say that this game has done for me. I'm so glad that I ran across it.